Welcome back, everybody. Again, this is our grief group. Just wanted to go over a couple of things real quick before we get started. First of all, I want to just talk about confidentiality real quick so we know where we're at with that. Again, everything that is talked about in group should stay here in group. I will guarantee that from my end. However, I can't guarantee everybody in group will not go out and say something. I do ask that you be respectful in that and at least don't mention anybody's names. Again, with regard to confidentiality, I will have to report if anybody talks of harming themselves, someone else, or if they discuss abuse of a vulnerable population. Everybody understand all that, or have anybody have questions? Okay, the next thing we're going to do, we're just going to check in real quick, doing a round like we've done in the past. We'll start over here with Kaylee. I just want you to tell me one thing that happened good this week for you.
This week I was able to just get out and see some friends that I haven't seen in a while. With being down lately and about the situation, it's kind of been a while since I've engaged and interacted with a lot of other people, so that was nice to see some familiar faces.
Good. Good.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot better. I also got to hang out with family this past weekend, which was really helpful.
I'm sorry, just one moment. If you don't mind, I don't know if you noticed when you move your coat like that, it's disruptive to everybody in the group. I just wanted to kind of make that aware. Do you mind if we have any feedback from anybody to see if they have any feelings towards being, having that rustling going on during group?
Yeah, that's fine. I got this new jacket, and I really like wearing it. I'd love to hear everyone's input on it.
Okay. Do you mind?
Yeah, it was a little distracting. At first I wasn't sure if she was just kind of moving around, but it's kind of hard to stay focused on what we're kind of talking about when there's that much distraction kind of happening. So, I felt a little off track, I guess, a little bit during when I was talking.
Do you mind telling her that?
Yeah. I'm sure you probably weren't really doing it on purpose, but it was a little distracting, kind of hard to keep engaged with what was going on with that much kind of going on while I'm trying to talk. So, maybe we could try not to do it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, when it was pointed out and you started talking, I realized that it was kind of making quite a bit of noise, so I just took it off. But
I appreciate that.
I guess I didn't realize how loud it is, but it is a pretty cool jacket.
It's very nice. Very nice. Did anybody else want to give any feedback?
I think Kaylee touched on it. Yeah, it was hard for me to hear Kaylee when she was talking, and then I felt like I couldn't relate. But I know you didn't mean any harm by it, so I appreciate and thank you for taking it off. It means a lot, so thank you.
Okay, I appreciate everyone giving the feedback. Did you have any other feedback you wanted to give?
No.
Okay, okay. We're going to move on then, if that's okay. We'll keep going around. I'm sorry, you can go ahead and finish what you were saying.
I was mostly done, but I did get to hang out with family, so that was really good for me this past weekend.
Excellent. Okay.
I also got to hang out with some family, so it was nice to be able to get out of the house and enjoy other people's company and not just sit at home and, just feeling down. So.
Okay, great.
I struggled this week. My family's out of town, so I actually went shopping. That's where I got the jacket. So getting myself busy and focused on something else kind of helped, but it was still hard without my family there.
Great.
Yeah, I definitely struggled this week as well. My family's not super close, so it is harder to get myself out there. But I did reach out to a friend, and I talked to her for a little bit on the phone, so that helped.
Good. So it sounds like everybody at least tried to get out, which is a good sign, a good step. Most of you were with family or friends or talking to somebody and stuff like that, so that's great. We all have some common things going on here this past week, so that's all good. Real quick, our next thing that we're going to do, I'm going to do an activity. Today we're going to work on expressing and talking about our feelings, telling people how you're feeling helps you to work through some of the grief process. The activity will help us practice talking about our feelings, which is important. The idea is one person's going to take both of the dice and they'll roll them, they'll read what comes up, and then they're going to have to give some information. As a group, you guys are welcome after that person who's rolled the dice is finished to give some feedback to what they say. Okay? Anybody want to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay, let me pass those down.
Name one thing that may make you feel angry. I guess not being able to say goodbye to my significant other, just, you know, and just being taken out of my world, and, you know, that makes me angry that, you know, a lot of people, when it's a planned or an expected death, they get to say their goodbyes, and I didn't get that, so that
Okay.
makes me angry.
Okay. Anybody have any feedback for Rochelle, or common feelings or anything like that that they'd like to share?
Yeah, I think that that's like very like legitimate. I know like feels like some people are lucky enough to get that time, kind of like you talked about, to say goodbye, and if that was the case, I think I would be pretty upset about that as well, like not really getting that, and just kind of feeling like I was robbed of that goodbye kind of, so
Yeah.
I understand completely.
Good. Good job. Who wants to roll the dice next?
Tell me about a time you felt excited. Okay, so I felt excited actually just a couple weeks ago. My family surprised me with concert tickets to go see an artist that I've been wanting to see, and so in that moment I just felt very loved and was super excited to go to the concert. And so to be able to get out of the house and not be pent up and thinking about all sorts of things that bring me down, but just go have a night out with friends, so that was a fun time.
Great. Anybody have any feedback for that, or any common feelings of excitement that they wanted to share?
I know it definitely helps me getting out and being around other people too. And I have found since the passing of my grandfather that it does help. And so I get excited too when I have plans and they're set in stone. So
Great. Good job, everybody. Our session is coming to an end here, so we're just going to kind of process through what we just talked about, or some of the feelings we talked about. Was it, anybody have any feelings of like difficulty talking about some of that stuff, or did it come pretty natural to talk about your feelings?
I would say natural.
Natural? Good.
I find it to be helpful.
Good. I noticed that there were people who had common feelings in there, so that was positive to see that you're not the only person having some of those feelings. So anyways, real quick, we're just going to summarize things up today. We came in here, we talked about confidentiality again. We did our round to check in with everybody and see how their week has gone. Noticed that there was a lot of similarities there in that round of things that we've been doing. We're getting out, talking to people more, so that's good. Then we did our activity here and talked a little bit more about processing different feelings, because at a time when you're grieving, that can be something that can be overwhelming or hard for us to do. So I appreciate everybody's coming in here today and contributing to the group. It was great to have you all here, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Thanks.